he re-released The Hobbit with the edition that we know, where it's a lot creepier, it's a lot darker, Gollum's way more menacing, and he never had an intention to give up the ring as a gift. The deal with Bilbo from the beginning was, if I win, you help me get out of here. So Tolkien re-released it with this new kind of darker version that more aligned with what he was writing for the Fellowship of the Ring and the Lord of the Rings books. But then he thought, hold on, people have had The Hobbit since 1937. If I say in the Lord of the Rings what happened in The Hobbit, they're going to say, no, that's not how that all worked. And so what he did was, in the Council of Elrond, Bilbo stands up to talk to the council to tell his story about the finding of the ring. And he looks towards, Glóin is there, Gimli's father, or Glóin, I never really know. But he's there with this contingent of dwarves, and he kind of looks over to them and very apologetically is like, and if some of you are hearing it this way for the first time, I hope that you'll forgive me. See, what Tolkien did is he said, the first edition is the story that Bilbo told the dwarves. Oh, this guy, he just gave me this ring. He called it a present. But the real thing that happened was the second edition. So Tolkien basically just retconned it. He said, all right, if you read the first edition of The Hobbit, the reason why it's different than what Bilbo's saying here is because Bilbo was a liar. He lied to the dwarves, and this is the real version. It's a pretty brilliant way to deal with that sort of inconsistency. And this was not the last time that Tolkien was considering doing some sort of change to The Hobbit, because in 1960, he decided he was going to rewrite the entire book, not just that one paragraph, the entire story to match the tone of Lord of the Rings, to make it more adult. Well, he never finished it. He got a few chapters in and went, you know what, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to let this be what it is. We're just going to let the second edition be The Hobbit from here on out, and that's it. But in many ways, if you think about it, what Peter Jackson did with the Hobbit movies was kind of continuing that idea that Tolkien abandoned of trying to make the two things match up. Because if you watch the Hobbit movies and you watch the Lord of the Rings movies, the Peter Jackson films, it feels like it's in the same world. It has the same kind of tone. Yes, one is shinier, one is a little more CGI heavy, but the idea of it being sort of that same tone was something Tolkien seriously considered doing in his own works. He never finished it because he said it wasn't worth it. But hey, if you found that interesting and you want to learn more about Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or Tolkien, you should check out my podcast, the Lord of the Rings AMA podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.